and his teams are currently working on. So today's webinar is on this massive opportunity, friends. We have in the cinema exhibition space with the brand Stree, which means woman. And the idea is centered around community of women. These are exclusive cinema halls for women-only audience, and a first of its kind membership and invitation-based initiative and a business model in multiplex, cineplex industry at large. And given the population trends of the country and the appetite today of cinema goers and people who are going and watching cinema, the market currently remains underserved. And therefore, there's a big opportunity, or I would say scope for investment into the film exhibition infrastructure. And also maybe giving a little background also on the industry before I request Anurag to come and talk about the entire idea and the journey so far in building this business model. I would say India today accounts for more cinema goers than any other country in the world, and is also the biggest cinema market in the world in terms of people who are going and watching cinemas, and also in terms of India producing one of the highest number of movies globally. And we have fewer movie screens per million people than many of our peer economies like US, China, Japan, and also the lowest per capita screen density when compared to other developing and developed nations across the world. And moreover, the women and family overall accounts a major percentage of overall cinema audience. So world over, about 70-80% of consumer purchasing decisions are made by women consumers, which is either by their purchasing power or by influence. In India also, the number of movie-going audience when it comes to women is almost about 53%. So before I, go more deeper, I'll request Anurag if you can also share a bit about, how the journey unfolded for you, the idea behind launching this business. And I will also request all our friends who have joined in, any questions, friends, that you have on the business model, please use the Q&A box. We'll be happy to take all these questions live. And post the webinar, we'll be happy to also, speak to you one-to-one. I don't know, Vrinda is one of the lead team members who will be working on the project from Franchise India. And we'll also share our contact details and coordinates in the chat box for you to reach out to us. Over to you, Anurag.
Thank you so much. So I'm the founder of A Little World, which is starting this initiative. We have set up a trial cinema in Madhya Pradesh that we have been running for about 3 months to discover the various issues that will come in getting movies from distributors, in projection systems, in running such a system, and the kind of audiences that show interest in this. So we have, in that 3-month period, we have shown first show of Pathan, Jawan, Animal, Tiger, etc. We have also shown first show of much smaller regular Friday releases. And one of the things we have come to realize is that we need larger catchments of population to fill the halls when an average Friday release comes. Therefore, we are now only looking at larger urban areas to set up the actual commercial cinemas. The current cinema is a trial to address learning and what issues can come up. So we are starting a cinema brand called Stree Cinema, which means a cinema for women. So this would be exclusive to women. There will be no men allowed as audiences on this. Whether they are children or adults, men will not be permitted inside these auditoriums. But girls from the time they are teens, so 13 onwards, females would be allowed into the hall. And this actually creates a very focused audience for many commerce brands, and that is our aim. We are creating a collaboration with 36 specific brands. I will not name them right now, but these brands belong to the space of apparels, and within apparels there are let's say ethnic apparels, Western apparels, and so on. There will be cosmetics, there will be saris, there will be deliveries, there will be taxis, there will be a bank. So we have identified about 70 such brands, and we will eventually bring it down to about 36. We don't have scope for a 37th. So it will will be 36 brands that will be collaborating with us in this venture at a very deep level. In fact, they are the ones who generate the revenue entirely. The entire revenue comes through those brands for this initiative. We don't charge any ticket price to the women who come and watch the movies here. But they also watch 36 ads in the course of every movie. These 36 ads would be 40-second long ads. There is a 30-second ad itself, and there is a 10-second additional part which you have never seen before in any format, where there will be a interaction between the audience and the ad. This will happen because of a technology device that we are putting on each seat on the right handle. So this device has touch and it has buttons, so you can respond to answers to questions that are going to come up on the projection screen about that ad. And this is something that the advertisers that we are talking to are extremely excited about, because this gives them many new possibilities. Each person who comes on board will have a card issued to them. I think the presentation later will have a view of the card that will be issued to every person. So every card would be personalized. It'll have a photograph of the person, but we're not giving age, etc., because that may not be appreciated. And that is a smart RFID card. So this can be read by the device that is on each seat. So we can tell advertisers exactly who has viewed an ad. And this is very valuable to the advertisers. We are also going to get a sign off from the people who are going to get these cards to allow interaction with their WhatsApp. Although we will not make it obtrusive at all. We will not make it intrusive at all. It will be not bombarding them with WhatsApp messages. That is not the idea. But we will use a WhatsApp for business page where they can log in. They can do that login for booking their seat for a particular show that they want to attend. They can do e-commerce with all the 36 brands. They can see offers from those 36 brands in that. Sorry, sir.
No, Anurag, you can continue. I think that was a audio.
So this is so it's a collaborative loyalty community buying program that we are creating for the brands who provide therefore the revenue for this. So the brands pay us per ad at a rate that would be higher than what they would normally pay in a PVR or Inox, because these additional value propositions that we bring, they don't get in any other forum. These cinemas will be registered as film societies. So they will not be requiring a regular license of a cinema theater. That can become time consuming and difficult to get. Instead of that, we are registering a film society as we speak. And in the next, say, 2 weeks, the film society will be registered. Then it will be affiliated to the Federation of Film Societies of India. And once it is affiliated, then it is allowed to show and screen movies as long as they are censored. So anything that is shown to an audience above 20 people has to be carrying a censor certificate, even if it's an ad. So ads will also carry a censor certificate, which is also the case in movies. If you see the beginning of ad, they have a 2-second censor certificate with each ad. So we will have the same. So no cinema license is required, no ticket is charged, and this practically the only revenue that comes to the whole system comes from these ads paid for by these 36 brands. And that makes it fairly profitable. That's what the business model presentation by Mr. Ashok would demonstrate to you. So we are looking at these 3 cities first, Mumbai, Hyderabad, and Kolkata, and we will be showing regional movies. Actually, in Kolkata, Bengali is not regional, Hindi is regional. In Hyderabad, the regional will be Hindi or any other language. The local language would be Telugu. So we are trying 3 different geographies in the beginning. And Mumbai, we will also maybe show 1 Marathi show every day. So we have come to a conclusion that doing a twin cinema is better than doing a single screen. There are some regulatory benefits, or there are some commercial benefits of technically running a multiplex versus running a single screen. You get better commercial deals from distributors if they are coming to a qualified multiplex. So we would be a multiplex and will get better commercial terms as a result. And the business model also improves if it's a two screen setup. So the area goes up a little bit, but revenue goes up more because the number of seats grow in a higher proportion to the area, because several areas remain common. The staff largely remains common. So the operating costs are shared between the two screens. The seats go up in a higher proportion. So it's a more profitable model to do two small theaters instead of one larger theaters. So the size of the two small theaters would probably be either 29 or 33 seats. We are working that out right now. I think the model is prepared on the basis of a 29-seater into two, but it may become 33-seater into two. So that's what would be presented to you now in PowerPoint and also the financials associated. Any questions we will take later on. Thank you.
Thank you, Anuragji. I think giving us a brief insight about the business model. So now, before talking about the commercials and the financial projections on the business model, I would invite Tushar, who is a senior strategy consultant at Frankop. He will just take us through the presentation, and then we will look at the financial projections. So Tushar, over to you.
Yes, sir. Thanks, sir. So I will just share my screen. Yeah. I hope my screen is visible. Hello.
Yeah,
Yes,
go ahead.
yeah, it's visible.
All right. So I will just give you a brief introduction about the Stree Cinema, and then we can go ahead. Yeah. So as Anurag ji told us in detail how the Stree Cinema kind of is going to create a revolution in terms of viewing experience for women, and this will be a completely free ticket model wherein only women will be allowed, and these theaters will be specially designed in a cozy environment where the comfort as well as the affordability will come into picture. And these cinema will have all kinds of movies ranging from the blockbuster movies as well as the regional movies, and the 5 shows of approximately 3 hours will be run on a daily basis. So the vision, I will talk about the vision and the mission. So the Stree Cinema aims to grow as a chain of neighborhood cinemas accessible to women at zero cost. So we know that how women, they do not kind of feel comfortable going to cinema, and where because of the distance issue as well as the safety issue. So this Stree Cinema kind of provides convenience at zero cost, and also this will help women to get the cinema at a very less distance. So this is about our cinema. This is the illustrative sitting layout of the Stree Cinema, wherein there will be a small hall, and this the seating arrangement will be approximately 29 seats in a single hall with one digital screen, and this will make sure the comfort and the concierge service to provide a safe movie experience for women at zero price. And also all these seats will have a device integrated to their handle, wherein they would provide an interactive experience to women, and also it will help to take our advertising partners and the marketing partners to get the response from the women viewers. So the Stree Cinema will be only invite-based viewership for women, wherein the women population will be filtered, and there will be a target audience on basis of the propensity to buy products, branded products especially, and those target audience would be provided lifetime membership, wherein they will have access to one movie per week for free. And as Anuragji told, there would be 36 advertising partners who are leaders in the women brand category, and that would help. And this cinema would generate revenue through impressions for advertisements at movie centers, and also through interactive interaction between the through the device empaneled at the through the at the seats. Uh, so these advertising partners would directly serve as a revenue for the Stree Cinema franchise, and there would also be the rewards for women through film movie under collaborative loyalty program. So I will talk about the viewers benefit at Stree Cinema. We have shortlisted four kinds of benefits for the women audience at the Stree Cinema. First of all, and the foremost thing is the entertainment. Because it covers both the blockbuster as well as the regular movies. So this will create a new holistic impression about the entertainment through Stree Cinema. And through Stree Cinema, we also offer discount offers on brand stores that we are empaneling advertising partners through us. And also it will provide value in terms of discount and zero cost. Fourth and foremost thing is the neighborhood convenience cinema at proximity, with which will save time at no cost, and also provide safety for the women. So right now, the services are categorized into four parts: the best movie production, that is entertainment, and again 58-seater premier with free cinema viewing, and also rewards based engagement. So I will talk about our agendas. So in the first phase, the idea is to capture the viewership of the women and offer them viewer experience uh, through our shows, which are 5 and of 3 hours. And in the phase 2, we will focus on the co-production of short films and the movies, which will be about of 1 hour and approximately 15 shows per day. So this is about the market analysis in India right now. As we see, the India is way behind in terms of the density, number of screens per million of population. And while there are other countries like USA and Spain, which are way ahead in terms of the facility of screen per population, India is very much way behind. So there is a scope of increasing screens, and when the Stree Cinema comes with the free cost model, when in providing the screen and the movie experience, this shows the potential of the Stree Cinema. And also, if we talk about the penetration in terms of age group of the in the cinema and the movie goers watchers, so the age category from 15 to 41, they have the maximum penetration, and that shows the how the what kind of market we will be catering to. So there was a lot of talk around COVID when the viewership decreased, but right now the post-COVID the market has gone up, and there has been a lot of traction in terms of coming back to the theaters. So like last year, in 1 year, around 14.6 crore people went to the theaters to watch movies. And in terms of talking about the PVR cinemas, which is one of the leader in the theater business, they had around 48.4 million people who watched PVR theater in 2023. That grew approximately 64% as compared to last year. And also, if we talk about the occupancy rate has been increasing post COVID. And if we talk about the last year, there was an increase of 32% as compared to the 24% in the previous year. So I will talk about the diversification of moviegoers in India. We see that the female contribution in terms of the movie watching in the cinemas is very less as compared to the males. So this will provide opportunity to females who can be a great market for cinema viewership. And there is a lot of potential for female viewership when it comes to the going out and watching the movie. And now I will talk about the different region based based on the metros and the rural urban diversification. The penetration in metros has been high, but there is a lot of scope. And if we see the other areas, like where there is 10 to 75 lakh of population in semi-urban areas, there is a lot of scope, and 76% audience comes to these areas. So I will talk about the rollout plan in the phase 1 and the phase 2. And in the phase 1, we have shortlisted 15 cities, wherein we will have 25 partners for investment, and there will be 25 centers in the first phase where we will focus on. And in the phase 2, we will focus on the rest of the India for the expansion plan. So talking about the ideal partner profile, we want the investors who strategically fit in terms of the entertainment and providing viewer experience, cinema viewing experience to the audience, and also the financial fit, wherein they come with the required investment. Apart from that, the operational fit is as well important, wherein they run and maintain the standards of the cinema business. Also, the marketing fit is required, where they have the understanding of the local market, and whenever the new movie come, they have kind of potential to market those movies and get the maximum audience. So now I will talk about the financial snapshot. Now we are considering that there will be a double screen cinema model, and this model will be based on the franchise owned operation model. The area required will be around 1200 to 1500 square feet. The initial investment for the double screen uh, centers would be 34 lakhs, and the franchisee fees would be 2 lakhs. And this takes to the total investment of 36 lakhs. Average ROI over the 5 years would be more than 100%, with a payback period of 18 months. So I will talk about the revenue side in this financial snapshot. The total capacity per month for the seating arrangement would be 8,700 if we consider the double seating arrangement. And we have calculated advertisement price. This is under negotiation, and right now we have taken the cutoff price at 6 rupee per impression. And the expected monthly occupancy will start from 50% to 85% that we expect over the next 1 year. And total viewers at the end of the year one, considering the occupancy, would be around 69,000. And along with that, the total producer cost will come around 35 lakhs, 34.5 lakhs. And the advertisement revenue for the year total would come around 1.17 crores. So the F&B revenue, which will be coming from the mostly packed food items, that would be around 28 lakhs, and total revenue will come around 1.45 lakhs. So this is about the Stree Cinema, and I invite Ashok ji to throw more light on the financial or any other uh, things he has to share.
Yeah, thank you, Tushar. I think you have covered almost everything, but I will add some more component on this business model. Yeah, Tushar, you can just end your screen share. Yeah, so basically, it's the kind of initiative. It's the first kind of initiative, not only in India, across the globe, to promote women viewing in cinema. So promoting them, because if you in one of the slides that Tushar has shared, women contribution in viewing cinema is only 39%. So basically, we are taking that initiative to increase that viewership for women, right? And if you look at some of the business aspect of this business model, this cinema is kind of like it's fully automated. So 90% of your business operations are technology driven. So it reduces your operating cost. It reduces your manpower requirement, right? And plus it has the upside in the business model. I think where Tushar shared F&B business. So F&B is category where basically brand, they don't charge any royalty or any commission on your F&B business. So whatever you earn from F&B is direct benefit to the franchisee. Right. So just we'll go through a quick Excel sheet, the basic calculations that we have derived for this business model. I'll share my screen here. Yes. So area requirement, as Tushar explained, is 1200 square feet to 1500 square feet. So this cinema can be set up in 1200 square feet, as well as it can be like 1500 square feet area. And this is the carpet area that we are taking into the consideration. So where to set up the 2 halls, 2 screens, area requirement is going to be around 800 to 1000 square feet. 200 square feet area we have allocated for storage, and around pantry and washrooms around 150 square feet. So this can be adjusted in 1200 square feet. Maximum space that we require 30 to 1500 square feet, right? To set up the cinema, that including the cost of technology, infrastructure, furniture, everything, that is around 34 lakh rupees, right? And 2 lakh rupees franchisee fees. So if you look at the value and the franchisee fees that brand is charging is very nominal. You can say the effort requires to set up the cinema, even this 2 lakh rupee doesn't recover the cost to setting up the cinema. So company, the brand is also putting their investment to set up your cinema, right? 2 lakh rupee franchise, this fee is just to cover our add-on cost that brand incur, just developing your one cinema. Apart from that, my franchisee has to pay property deposit if it is a rental location, right? And rental location, again, this will vary, again, location to location. We have considered 2.5 lakh rupees rent per month for such location, but it will vary depending on the location to location. 1 month of working capital required that we are saying, so that is again close to 4 lakh rupees. The staff requirement to operate your cinema, we require 3 people who will operate the cinema, and plus 3 housekeeping. So we need a total staff of 6 to manage the entire both double screen cinema, right? Including your F&B business. Now we'll talk about the revenue projections. So we will have like 2 screens. So operating days we are taking in a month 30, 2 screens. Each screen will have 29 seats capacity. And as Anuragji has mentioned, this seating capacity can go a little high up to 33. But these calculations are done on 29 seats per screen and 5 shows every day. So this gives a total monthly capacity of 8,700, and we are taking capacity utilization of 50% in first quarter, second quarter 60%, third quarter 70%, and 85% we are taking in the last quarter. So your revenue from advertisement, we are considering 18 advertisers in the first quarter, second quarter 24, 30 in third quarter, and 36 in last quarter. So my revenue starts at 4.6 lakh rupees per month, and it goes up to 15.9 lakh rupees in the last quarter. So total revenue for the year from advertisement is going to be 1.17 crores. And the revenue, we are taking 40% of the viewers, they will buy something to eat. So that is very basic price that we have considered here is 100 rupees. And we are saying 40% of our audience, they will buy something. So 27 lakh rupees is my F&B revenue. Here is the upside for the franchisee. If they sell more F&B products, they can make more business and more profit. So my total revenues start at 4.6 lakh rupees per month and goes up to close to 19 lakh rupees per month. So that gives me a total of 1.45 crores for the year, right? On my viewership, the cost to the producer or the distributor that goes, so 50 rupees per viewer is the cost for my producer. So that's 2.1 lakh rupees and it goes up to 3.69 lakh rupees. So that's the total 35 lakh rupees is my cost for producers. Now we'll look at some the income statement. So my revenue from the advertisement 1.17 crore, second year is 1.9 crore because we are taking 85% utilization in second year. So my revenue will be much higher in second year, right? And then we are third year onward, we are taking a very nominal cost, that is only the inflation at 5% we have considered for growth. So monthly revenues, this is the average for the year. So 12 lakh rupees, 18 lakh rupees, and my monthly average goes up to 21 lakh rupees per month. Distributor cost is my 34 lakh rupees first year, goes up to 42 lakh rupees. 18% revenue share to the brand. So managing your entire technology and backend support and your brand acquisitions, your all the technology support and RFID. So brand charges against that only the 18% revenue. Rest 82% minus this cost is goes to my franchisee. So my franchisee having two margins. One, this F&B business, whatever the margin he make in F&B is directly goes to the franchisee. Second one is my revenue from the advertisement goes to the franchisee. So his margin is 89 lakh rupees first year. Second year is almost close to 1.5 CR and goes up to 1.7 crores in fifth year. Cost on F&B products, we have considered 70% because most of the products you will be sourcing from outside. Even 70% we have considered a higher side. You can make more profit because in F&B, if you consider the food cost, it ranges around 30-40%. So here is the more margins for the franchisee. Employee cost is 12 lakh rupees for the year and goes up to 18 lakh rupees in the fifth year. Rental, we have considered 2.5 lakh rupees per month. That translates to 30 lakh rupees. 2% of the cost we have kept provision for local marketing. So 3 lakh rupees investment on local marketing. Electricity and utility expenses around 35,000 rupees per month. And the 25,000 rupees per month for my communication and broadband expenses. Repair and maintenance, again 30,000 rupees per month. And other miscellaneous expenses we have considered at 25,000 rupees per month. So total expense for the year is 78 lakh rupees. My first year profit for the franchisee is 10 lakhs. Second year profit is 65 lakh rupees. And then it goes up to 73 lakh rupees in a year. If you look at the cumulative returns for my franchisee is 2.8, 2.9 crores. So that is whatever the investment that you are making of 36 lakh rupees, you are going to achieve 8x of your investment in 5 years, right? Brand is also giving you a maximum guarantee up to 30 lakh rupees in 24 months, right? So that is the value proposition for our franchisee partners, and his break even is going to be 18 months. So with this, I will end the presentation, and now I will invite Sonia Chaudhary to take the questions, please.
Thank you, Ashok. And friends, I'll request all of you, if you have any questions, please use the Q&A box to mention your city. If you also have an access to a property or you own a property, do let us know. And I see some questions have already been answered, but I'll take these questions in the interest of everyone present out here. And we also have Rinda, friends, you see on the screen. She would be heading the entire project and would be working with everyone who has come in to understand the model. Now, very quickly recapping, friends, now creating and sustaining a successful business, or I would say a brand, is something that can't be done alone. So community that drive businesses and commerce is something which is extremely important in today's world of businesses. So Stree is creating community of women, the first of its kind initiative, and none has ventured into till date, women-only cinema halls by membership and invitation. No cost on the tickets. They're all complimentary to all women members invited. The third point, which is important to also note, is this is, the entire model is very quick when it comes to go to market, right? So registration, as Anuragji also explained, there's no license also which is required. I think one of our friends asked on the licensing structure. Maybe we can take that again. So there's no cinema license which is required in a format like this, because this is free screening to your members by invitation. And the entire business model has a very strong value proposition for all stakeholders, which means the woman as a community, as a consumer, which is prime focus. Second is a franchise partner, where his downside, or I would say his risk, the investment which has been made by him, is also hedged by the brand, the company. And third is the advertisers. The company has already started speaking to some of the prominent names when it comes to the brands. And these are some of the prominent names when it comes to brands which are consumed largely by women and by households. Now, when a business can transition from simply, I would say, delivering a product or a service to building a community, it can unlock extraordinary competitive advantage. And that's what the entire business model is based on. So overall, where the requirement is 1,200 square feet of space, and larger part of this space would go into the exhibition area, which is two-screen model, which will have a seating capacity of 29 each, which will be about 48 between the two halls. We're looking at partners who would own and operate the entire business operations. The entire systems, processes, training is something which the company would impart. The revenue model is, or the monetization model primarily would come from the advertisement. And like I said, that they've already started speaking to some of the leading consumer brands in the country. And our assumptions are very, very rational and very, very realistic. If you look at the assumptions that we have taken on the occupancy, is only 50% in the first 3 months, and gradually it goes to 60, 70, and finally 80% by the 10th month, which is the last quarter of the first year, which is extremely realistic. Now, occupancy here is to be understood from the context of advertisement. While these occupants are not going to give you any money on the tickets, but from the context of advertisements, that the cost coming for advertisement will be based on the occupancy screen would hold. The overall return on the investment is projected within a year of 2 years based on the assumptions that we have shared with you. Now, operating expenses, if you look at this model, is not very, very high. Even the rentals that we are considering is anything between 150 to 200 rupees per square feet. As we don't, while we need to be in the right neighborhood, but we don't have to be on the prime spots. For example, I don't need to be on the ground floor to operate a cinema hall, right? So the cost of occupancy really comes down. One thing which is important also, I'll repeat that again, is Stree has de-risked their franchise partner, as the projections we have shared on the business, as you saw, Ashok took you all through those projections. Now, given a scenario, for reasons if there's a delay in these projections being achieved, 30 lakhs is something which the company or the brand has already de-risked the investor on. For reason these 30 lakhs don't come back to you in a period of 24 months. Whatever the differential is, the company remains committed on returning that in to the investor. So overall term of the agreement is 5 years with a franchise partner. So quickly we'll take some questions, Anuragji, and I see some questions coming from the audience. Let me go and also read that. So very quickly, we talked about overall outlay of 36 lakhs of investment, where 2 lakhs is towards the franchise fee. So broadly, what becomes the breakup of the other components? Say, the cost of the screen for putting up one screen. If you want to also go a little deeper in that. Raji, would you want to take that up?
Oh, about the cost of screens?
Hanji. So what we are talking about is overall investment outlay of 36 odd lakhs, where 2 lakhs would go towards our franchise fee component, and then we have 34 lakhs which goes towards other capex investment. So broadly, why not? We don't have to go very deeply into the capex. We can discuss that off screen and outside the webinar, but maybe a broader, calculation of where the capex is.
I'll mention the major heads of capex. The largest head would be the projection screens. So we are at this moment planning digital screens, which would be comprised of small LED panels instead of projectors. Projectors are becoming old technology. These new digital screens are becoming the new generation technology for this. And they reduce a lot of other complexity, and they reduce or do away with the need of a projection room itself, because there is no projector here. And they connect directly to the server. They are more robust and they are bright enough to even work in ambient light. So in interval, you can turn on the lights and it's like watching a TV. A TV in a perfectly well-lit room is still quite bright to view. So that's the nature of these screens. This technology has become lowered in cost only very, very, very recently. Like this is becoming affordable now. Till even last year, this would have been 3 or 4 times this cost. So we are negotiating very good rates for these digital screens. Then there is another large cost would be the interiors of the place, which includes seats. The seats are very specific. A part of the seats are coming from China, and these are the foam panels that people actually sit on the chairs. So each chair has some 8 foam panels, which are being specially molded in China, and this is easy to clean. It's much better than making upholstered panels, more comfortable and more long-lasting. Any spill of tea or water or soft drinks, etc., doesn't impact it. And these are all recliners. These are very comfortable recliners. All the seats in our cinemas are recliners, but they are generally different from the recliners people are used to in a PVR Gold kind of a situation. So we will show them. We are getting the seats organized so that we can put up a full theater somewhere in Mumbai and have it available for viewing. We are using audio system from a French company called FIHL. These are very celebrated systems for auditoriums of this size. We are using a Denon amplifier for this. That's a professional amplifier. We are using acoustic panels which absorb enough of the wrong sound waves which are fire resistant and create a very good audio profile in the. We have a UPS and we have a battery backup of about 30 minutes in case power goes for a short while. Generally in metros, we will not find power cuts longer than that. We have cameras to track what is happening on the screen, what is happening on the seat occupancy, because advertisers want to know that. Each member will be given an NFC card. We are investing in very high-speed printing systems for those cards. So the cards will be centrally printed and delivered at the cinema. And the member will provide their own profile using a WhatsApp application, which we are building right now. So that will also provide the photograph. And each card has a unique QR code and a unique number which corresponds to that QR code. So it can be machine read by a camera in addition to the RFID on each seat. And each seat will also have a food and beverage ordering system. So each seat handle will have a menu where you can select the category and then order from that. And it will even give you a QR code with which you can pay by UPI sitting on your seat, and the F&B will be delivered to your seat. We don't want audiences to go out in the interval, ideally. Somebody has to go to the toilet, that's another matter. But otherwise, they should stay there and watch ads, because that is what brings in the money, rather than go out. And that also creates the need of more space. Staying in the seat is better in this case. Interiors will include some treatments. We have to make wiring go through the floor. So there's some kind of a very shallow 1-inch deep false floor. So there are tiles and there are pathways in between the tiles, and then there is a little cover on top of that tile. So we will provide all these because these are very specific things. And if each cinema owner wants to do that by himself, it'll become very expensive and needlessly complicated for each of them. So we are providing almost a turnkey solution for the whole cinema seating, the clickers on each seat, the flooring system, the projector, the audio system, amplifiers, cards. We recommend that they should, for each theater, there should be 2 ACs, which are 5-star ACs. Investing in 5-star ACs is a good idea because the overall cost across the year would be much lower of electricity, since these ACs have to be run for a long time. If you run ACs for less than half this time, then it may be okay to buy cheaper ACs. But if you're running them for so long, it is necessary to buy 5-star ACs to save money.
Okay, I'll take some more questions. Friends, I know you've been writing these questions, but I'll take some questions which I see coming from a lot of you and try to combine some of these also along. Actually, one question, because the entire business model is based on the monetization, which is advertisement coming from these companies and brands. So the question which I see is, who would be responsible for bringing these advertisements?
We are doing that. It's our responsibility entirely.
So friends, I hope that answers, because that was a question which I see a lot coming in. And actually, when we talk about launching maybe the first cinema hall, and after the location has been finalized, typically what is the turnaround time for the cinema to be launched is one question. And the second question which I want to club along is also the preparedness both at franchisees end and also at Stree's end, which is required so that we have enough I would say advertisers before or enough audience before we screen our first movie.
Yeah, so we will be getting the audiences through the advertisers. So I'll give you an example. This may not be an actual example of a brand, but let's say we take Myntra, and then we will be exploring Myntra as a partner. Myntra is an e-commerce site for apparels, basically for women, mostly women. It's not that they're exclusively only for women, but overwhelmingly their clientele is women, and they position themselves like that. So they sell a lot across India. They sell a lot even in smaller cities. And they have a lot of data about their customers because they deliver. So since they're an e-commerce platform, they deliver to the customer. So they know in each pin code who are their top buyers. And there are lots and lots of people in those pin codes. So we divide the total capacity of the cinema by 36. And that is the number of seats per month that each advertiser is entitled to give to their buyers. So, something like, let's say, 400 shows will be available per month to Myntra, in this case, 400 to the next brand, because we can't distinguish between brands. All brands are paying us the same price for the ad. They are not paying differential pricing. And therefore, all brands get as many of their customers to give these free cards to. They will do it through us. There will be a process of deduplication. We don't want the person to get the cards from Myntra also and from another brand also, or from, let's say, Nykaa at the same time. That doesn't make sense. So deduplication process is what we are establishing for the brand. And the brands also know who the other advertisers are. So each of the 36 brands will know which the other 35 brands are. And we are committing to each of them that they will be category exclusive. So if we are getting a Western wear apparel brand, then there will be no other Western wear apparel brand in this whole system. So these are, this is an exclusive club of advertisers belonging to different categories. And that is something they like because they see that the filtration is done correctly. All the brands will want to get their largest buyers to be given this reward. And then the profile just becomes right for all the advertisers. A Nykaa would be very happy to advertise to the top buyers of a Myntra and vice versa. So it works for all the brands, and then they get additional data. We give them a report that with each ad that played, a profile of who watched that ad from that pin code.
All right.
Whether now we have the data to give them actual names and further profile, but that is something that is not right to do. There are privacy rules to be maintained. So we will not give the name and the actual identifier of the person who watched the ad, but we will give a summary that it contained 12 people from the 15 to 20 age group, so many from the 20 to 25. So we will do the block of 5 years for age groups and give them how many people attended. But it doesn't end there. We have already taken a sign off from each of the cardholders that they can be approached through WhatsApp.
Okay.
In a non-intrusive manner. So we are building a WhatsApp for Business page now, which will be the only interaction that the customer needs with this entire platform. So they will be using that WhatsApp page to book their seat in the cinema. They want to go and watch a show on Friday at 6 p.m. They will go to their WhatsApp page, and like in Book My Show, a plan will appear on the WhatsApp for Business page, and they can choose their seat from the plan.
Okay. Now I'll take a question from, sorry.
Yeah.
You were saying something?
No, so this is, so the WhatsApp page also is a shopping page. So it is like a closed loop Amazon shopping page, which only has these 36 brands.
Okay.
And one of the most powerful things we are hoping to do here, this is not yet a done deal, but this is looking very good, is that we are creating a collaborative cashback program, not a discounting program.
For your members.
Discount is never taken seriously now.
Correct.
But if you are spending, let's say, 3,000 rupees on a Myntra purchase, you actually get 300 rupees in your account as a cashback. And that cashback comes in a common pool, whichever brand you buy from of these 36.
You can use.
And you can use it only to buy further stuff from these 36 brands.
All right.
It doesn't have to be the same brand which gave you the cashback in which you have to spend the cashback. But it can be any of the 36 brands in which you spend that cashback. So that is a very big deal for the brands. So this works at a really 360-degree level for brands, where an advertisement leads to interaction as well. So we want the viewer, women, to be attentive when viewing an ad. They shouldn't be browsing their mobile or thinking about something else. So we create a mechanism where we ask a question for each ad. So if there are 36 ads, each ad has a 10-second period at its end, which asks a question. So if it's a Hyundai car ad, the question is asked that you saw the Hyundai car in this ad, what was the color of that car? So that you gauge it is not a rocket science kind of a question. It's a simple question. But it does determine whether that person was seeing the ad at all or not. And if you get the answer right, then the brand will send you a coupon for some discount. They will be happy to send a 5% coupon as a reward for viewing the ad and getting it right, which will come on your WhatsApp. And it is not that if 30 people are sending you coupons because of today you're having interacted correctly with 30 ads, you will not get 30 messages. You will proactively open your WhatsApp for Business page, and there you will find a button which says, these are my offers available.
Okay.
So there is no intrusion that WhatsApp is doing here.
Wonderful. See, I'll take a question. We have Mr. Krishnamurthy ji is asking what kind of locations would we prefer for putting up a facility like this?
We want places which are heavily populated metro areas. That's why we are choosing initially Mumbai, Hyderabad, and Kolkata, where people live. And if people live there, then women live there. If more people live there, then more women live there. We want it to be near to people's homes. So we don't want to set these up in urban areas which are not densely populated. So I'll give you an example. We were analyzing density of urban areas, and we found some very low priced rentals in Nanded in Maharashtra. It's a reasonably large place otherwise. We compared the density of population of Nanded with the density of Mumbai population, and the difference is 86 times. That means the same number of people are spread over an area that is 86 times bigger. And therefore, the degree of difficulty for them to come to the cinema is that much more. So we want the cinema to be near to people. So the most densely populated areas are the best places for us to go.
And the other question which I see is the setup time which is required for the cinema.
So from, let's say, March onwards, we would not take more than 10 days to set up a cinema.
10 days.
Once we have a space. Yeah.
Including even the civil work?
The civil work is to do with toilets. Yeah, 10 days should be fine to do the toilets.
Okay. This is a question from Mr. Hriday Kaushik. Okay, I'll take a question from Mr. Lee George. He's asking the size of the screens that we'll have in the cinema.
Okay, so we are, as we are talking about digital screens, we will be using a digital screen of 2048 pixels into 872 pixels. This is a ratio of 1:2.35, which is the standard CinemaScope ratio. Because all movies from Bollywood are released in CinemaScope. So you don't waste a single pixel in this ratio. So it's a long, it's more than 2.3 times as long as it is tall. That's what the exact CinemaScope proportion is. So this is the digital screen size that we will be using, and this is comprised of LEDs which are 2 mm wide. So each LED, so it has 2048 LEDs in length, in the width. Each of them is 2 mm, so its actual length is 4.1 meters, 4.096 meters. And the height is approximately just over, it's a little under 6 feet. So these are very precise, and they will be the same across all the theaters.
All the theaters. I have a question from Mr. Balaji, which is on the height of the infrastructure which is required.
We are okay with 10 feet. If you have more, that is nicer as a space. You will not find generally more than 14 feet in any construction. But anything between 10 to 14, if it is 9, we have a problem.
Okay. So 10 and above would be a good...
We can stretch it to 9.5 in a really deserving case, but not less than that.
Okay.
Otherwise, people will have line of sight issues. The person behind will get obstructed a little bit by the person. So at these heights, we will have the bottom of the screen at a level where the line of sight issues will usually not be there.
All right. Helpful. And friends, I'll request you, please reach out to us. I see some more questions coming in, and some questions I see which have been answered are being asked again. We'll be happy to answer and speak to you one-to-one post the webinar. One last question, Anuragji, before we sign off. And this is a question on the profit model. So one part of the revenue goes to the distributor and one goes to the company in form of royalty, right? So if you can maybe elaborate a little bit on that. So typically out of 100 rupees that is made, what goes to the distributor, what goes to the franchisee, and what goes to the company?
So out of the 100 rupees that is made, exactly 18 goes to Stree in 2 bins, 9% and 9%. 9% goes for the management of the cinema and the management of the advertisement network. We don't get anything separately from the advertisers here. So these will be audited accounts, and we are not keeping any further money with us from the advertisers. So 9% is for all of the cinema related work. And another 9% is for content creation for the future. So this is going to Stree Films. So Stree Films is co-producing films with established filmmakers. And our sort of minimum criterion is that the filmmaker should have made at least 2 feature films earlier. But we are inviting them to make shorter films, shorter duration films, which are not more than 40 minutes long. And the first 2 of them will be ready next month. by the end of February, we'll have the first 2 of these films. And we intend to make about 15 to 20 of such films every month as we go forward.
All right.
And these films will run for a total of 1 hour. Like today's movie runs for a slot of 3 hours. We will start replacing the 3-hour slots with slots of 1 hour each, which I believe will be helpful for the women audiences, because many people don't have 3 hours to spend. There will always be women who have to go back to a child or go back to a household and would balk at spending all of 3 hours in a cinema. So we are creating a shorter format. And that shorter format is also, in our opinion, going to be far more entertaining and better movie quality, because you're not trying to stretch a story just because you have to fill more time. It will have no interval. So there is no time wasted, but it will have this, that will actually encourage higher revenue, because the total advertising time over a 3-hour period will go up and not come down.
Great. That's very helpful. And Nashi, before we close, I'll also request if you want to give maybe a last message to everybody who's listening to you live and have come on the webinar. Yeah.
You asking me?
Yes. Last message before we close.
Come on board.
I think it was wonderful interacting, and I think a lot of insights, a lot of knowledge. And the first time, friends, the initiative that we have launched on the platform of Franchise India from a very seasoned and a very successful entrepreneur. Thank you so much, Anurag-ji, for being with us. It's an honor to have heard you today. And friends, for all of you, all your questions, I'm sure there are many of your questions which require maybe a deeper discussion or understanding. I'll request all of you to kindly reach out to us. We have put a hotline number and also our feedback ID in the chat box. You can take a note of that. And Brinda, if I can also request you to share your direct contact number and email ID, we'll put that in the chat box, and we'll start connecting with you. And now, before I close, I'll also request Sandeep to kindly take care of the closing comments.
Sure. Thank you, Mr. Anurag, for this lovely presentation. We are all encouraged and enamored by your pitch for this opening a cinema. I'm sure this is a long time dream for many. So on Monday, we will again come back with another brand and business opportunity. The brand name is Tatva Yog. I am leaving the registration link for the same in this chat window. I ask my friends to please register for the same, and thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.